What's up YouTube? Drew here. Today we have some breaking news. Finally, construction is underway on this brand new Tropical America's land that is replacing DinoLand U.S.A. over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. If you aren't subscribed yet, make sure to click that subscribe button right now, as this video that you're watching as I talk to all of you is the first of dozens that I will be covering, not only just this Tropical America's land from here in my office and on site at Animal Kingdom, but also every single project in development at Disney Parks and Disney Cruise Line through the end of 2029. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss all of these incredible updates that I'll be providing all of you. With that being said, we've got some breaking news to talk about, so let's get to it. Through the second half of 2024, we got our official confirmation that this is what's going to be replacing DinoLand back at D23 in August. Then in October, Disney announced the first closures for DinoLand, and just very recently on January 12th, well, that's when we said goodbye to Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, including TriceraTop Spin, the Fossil Fun Carnival games, and Dinosaur Treasures. I did love Dinosaur Treasures. I will miss that store. But here we are, just a few days later, and as Josh D'Amaro said in August, dirt is going to be moving. Here we have dirt moving. And what I love about this is that the groundbreaking ceremony actually included some of the Imagineers that are leading the project. Disney has been leaning into the personal side of Imagineering, which personally, I'm a massive fan of. These people really never get recognition for the work that they do because they're so secretive, but at the end of the day, we don't have these lands and attractions and experiences without them. The main thing here I love is how fast work is underway, how clear Disney is being with that, and the fact that we already know that this land is opening at some point in 2027. The storyline for this land centers around a village. The official name for this land is Pueblo Esperanza, which translates to the Village of Hope. It is an original story with these villagers, and then the stories are based around this Tropical America's theme. That's where we're seeing Encanto, Indiana Jones, and this Disney character carousel come into play here. But in my opinion, this land feels very classic Disney, and I think that that's thanks to Bruce Vaughn, who is the president and chief creative officer of Walt Disney Imagineering, really wanting this land at its core to fit into Animal Kingdom. And then these IPs that we're seeing were based after that core story was established, if that makes sense. For those of you guys who don't remember, this land was originally going to feature a Zootopia in Moana ride, and a lot of the feedback around that is nothing about this feels like Animal Kingdom. But with this land, you have a core idea with stories fitting that idea, and that's why I love it. The vibes that I'm getting from this Tropical America's land are very New Fantasyland-esque, and I think that New Fantasyland is the most classic thing that Disney's done in the last 15 years. The main thing I want to talk about today, though, is this Encanto attraction, because the entire point of this video is construction is underway. And in the coming months, we're going to start to see this thing go vertical with these steel beams and really start to see the shape of the show building and casita form right in front of our eyes. And like I said, I'll be covering all of that on here for all of you. But basically, whenever this attraction was first announced back in August, there were a lot of official details that even at the time I missed, because at D23 in the moment, I was live tweeting all of this breaking news on my X account. So follow me over there if you aren't already as well. But when I went back and started to look at these details, there's a lot of really cool things here that no one else has talked about. The first one being that as we are walking up to the casita, the Madrigal's house, it is going to feel alive and be moving, just like in the movie, how we saw Mirabel interacting with Casita. Like I mentioned, with everything moving, you're going to see the door of the Casita opening and closing, and the window flaps, and even the shutters on the house. It's going to feel alive, and having something like that, as well as the music in the area. And another thing that I love here is how the Casita is staged back and it's raised a little bit, so there is going to be that reveal as you walk through the trees up to the entrance to the attraction. It's going to feel natural because you're going to be able to see the house as if it would just be sitting in a city normally, whereas if the attraction's entrance was through the front doors of the house, there'd be so many people and it just wouldn't look as good. But because it's staged in the way that it is and the entrance is off to the side, it's going to make that casita pop a lot more. And the staging of it, there's been so much thought. You can tell just from the concept art that the Imagineers have clearly put a lot of thought into the staging and how to make this reveal great. another thing here too that I will give a shout out to, I'll be talking about this more in a new series that I'm launching, Imagineer of the Month. Chris Beatty is the executive creative director who is overseeing every single project at Walt Disney World right now through the end of 2029. Something that he is big on is with theme park design, not, being able to see things from far away. And that design philosophy is exactly what we're seeing with Pueblo Esperanza. So when you look at these Imagineers and how they think, you can see their artistic design and thought process come to life with these structures. And this Encanto Casita, perfect example right here. There's so many details just with walking into the queue line. What about the ride itself? The big question mark here that we don't have officially confirmed as of now is the ride system, though www.magic.com is reporting that this is expected to be some form of Omnimover. Omnimover is most famously used in the Haunted Mansion, but is also used in Journey into Imagination with Figment, and I can't take credit for this thought. This was first mentioned by Jack, the owner of DSNY Newscast, but if Disney utilizes an Omnimover, which would be a phenomenal high-capacity attraction for Animal Kingdom, and uses it more similarly to Figment, like Jack mentioned, that'd be the best use here, because that would mean that these scenes are timed when these ride vehicles enter them, rather than things happening continuously like in Haunted Mansion. I think it would be 100 times better if the things are timed to each ride vehicle entering the scene, so it feels more personal with the Madrigals addressing us, making us a part of the story. Now, with the attraction story, we are visiting Casita on the day that Antonio gets his gift. That is the connection to animals in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And the thing that no one's been talking about is that this finale scene, the grand final moment before we exit our ride vehicles and get off the attraction, will be entering Antonio's room with all the animals and the entire Madrigal family. And just knowing that that's the wow moment, the culmination of the entire attraction, I think it's going to be beautiful, and it might even be an emotional moment depending on how well Disney pulls it off. But this is a massive show building, Hopefully we get that ride system Omnimover confirmation confirmed at Destination D23 in August. But for now, knowing construction is underway and the fact that Disney is very serious about getting these current projects in motion and underway, to me, addresses all of the concerns that I've had as a fan. I was skeptical on some of these things what Disney has been saying, but just back at D23 when I was talking to all these Imagineers on the show floor, like Chris Beatty and Michael Hungen, like I mentioned, the two Imagineers overseeing all these projects, they were telling me how serious they are and how many things they're working on, and now we're seeing that become a reality. So when I see negativity and people being negative about this, I'm confused because Disney's answering our feedback. And when Josh D'Amaro said dirt was moving, people are like, well, show us. Now they're showing us, and people are making fun of it, saying, oh, they're just doing this for a photo op. But in reality, this is exactly what we've been asking for. So why are we complaining about the things that Disney is showing us that they're doing? This is great. Why wouldn't I not want construction starting right now? So that's just my 2 cents, but I'm very excited for this land if you guys haven't been able to tell with how energetic I have been throughout this video. Classic Disney is what I want more of, and seeing a land based around an original story with the stories that we're going to be experiencing based on top of originality is something that I love. So congratulations to everyone involved on this project. Again, I'll be covering everything on here, on my Instagram, and on my Twitter. So follow me wherever you guys are, and I'll see you all in the next video.